Hey everybody, it's me, Esther. I pray that you are having a super amazing day. Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. We shall rejoice, and yes, we shall be glad in it. You already know it has definitely been a minute stretched all the way out since I've been with you. As you all know, most of you know, we celebrated the life and the legacy of my beloved father, our father, friend, uncle, brother, granddaddy, grandpa, papa, old man. We celebrated his life and legacy, and of course, prior to that, my time was dedicated to being with him, and I'm thankful that God allowed me that opportunity to be with him, not to be caught off guard or by surprise. Nonetheless, it still hurts. But I thank God for his grace, his power that is sustaining me, sustaining our family. And I can truly say that all is well. With that being said, I want to say thank you to every person that reached out to me, that reached out to our family via text messages, phone calls, cards, coming over for visitation, coming over to the celebration of his life and legacy. Those of you that are still reaching out, those of you that have responded financially, I appreciate that. I don't take it lightly. I was just thinking as I was preparing this content how God definitely has people on assignment to be with you, to walk you through, to see you through these times. You have emotional waves. Sometimes you're good and sometimes you're not. But one thing that I have told everyone is that God has been with us through this entire process. Yes, I know that there are days ahead that are ahead, but I know that truly the Lord is with me. And when things catch us by surprise, they never catch God by surprise. So I thank him for his strength. I thank him for his grace, for his sustaining power, his keeping power, his power of understanding, his power to bridle my tongue. I truly bless him for that. I can say that God is good. He said that he would never leave us nor forsake us. He said that he would be a mother to the motherless and a father to the fatherless. So I'm thankful that God has sustained my faith. He's grown me up in this, calmed my spirit down, my goodness, to be able to move forward and do what it is I need to do. So both far and near, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you on behalf of my brother Joe, Lily, my sister Amy Lily, and myself Esther, Lily Sanchez, for being there for us during this time. I'm trying to get back into my routine of things, and I'm going to do that slowly. I'm going to do that slowly. I know that I have the ministry of my virtual media platforms, and so I want to move slow. I want to move with grace as I move forward. But I felt it necessary to come on to say thank you for everyone, because it's virtually, it's really impossible unless I do it virtually to say thank you to every person from the bottom of my heart for being there for me. I mean, cards, flowers, food, gifts, honorary gifts. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. People that I had no idea that were connected to my family and to my father, you were there. So I thank you. And one thing he did tell me, he was like, gal, you keep living and you keep taking care of your husband because you've done well by me. And that was most comforting. But the most rewarding thing was to be able to spend that time with him, to pray with him, to sing with him, to read scriptures. And I'm not saying nobody else did that. I'm just saying from my own personal experience as his baby daughter, that was the relationship that I had with him, that I was able to do those things. And he shared some very personal and intimate things. He gave me instruction as to what to do and how to carry out affairs. And I thank God for that, because from a little girl, he and my mother always groomed me in that. That doesn't mean that I'm perfect. It doesn't mean that I'm a professional. It just meant that I was designed to handle this assignment and to handle it with grace. And when I reflect on just from a little girl, them telling me, this is how you do things, this is how you handle things. So that is my heart, is to please and to honor the wishes that he instilled in my life, he and my mom. And I can just say, Lord, I thank you for trusting me with such an extensive assignment. When I say extensive, it was an extensive assignment, but I thank God that my husband, Christopher, was right there with me every single day. My children were right there with me every single day. Christine, Melissa, Yvonne, Marcus, Travis, the grandbabies were right there with me. Macaulay, Trinity, Kenny, Nalani, Kaori, Adriana, they were right there with me. So I'm eternally grateful for that. I don't try to get into name calling because then you forget people and they take an offense. But I thank God for my family. Listen, KCM, King's Court Ministries International, you are family. You were there with me. I mean, when I say every step of the way, you're still there with me. You're still reaching out. I'm telling you, y'all were my leaning force. You were there. I would just look up and things were, being delivered. They were making sure that Chris and I were extremely comfortable in this process. I'm appreciative. I told someone I never had so many fraps all the days of my life, but they know that that's what I loved, and they knew that I was kind of not able to really have the appetite to eat, so they made sure that I was hydrated and I was good. They would come, I call it now, our front porch ministry. So we spent a lot of time quietly. The ministry of silence is amazing. They would just let me sit there, and I get kind of emotional, but they would let me just sit there and just have my quiet moment and rock in my rocker and just process everything. So yes, I'm eternally grateful. Listen, let me say this. If you are not connected to a ministry, to a family that understands faith, that understands prayer, that understands that leadership is human, you need to get connected for real, for real. A lot of times we want to connect to names, and then, honey, you need to connect to Jesus, because had it not been for the support of them just coming by, having things dropped off for us, it was just everything to me to get me through. That was the oil that they were pouring on Chris in my life. There were times that, they were like, we're there for both of you. And so I just appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, how they stood with us. They are yet standing with us. They were able to carry on ministry when times were extremely challenging for me. And I told them, I needed my time to heal. I didn't want to lead and bleed. I didn't want to feed and bleed. I wanted to be strong in what I needed to do. So I needed that emotional break, so that I could get myself together. And I thank God that He is a healer, that He's a restorer of my soul. I want to say thank you to the Raleigh Road Church of God of Prophecy, Reverend Harold Ferguson, Reverend Dr. Stefan Ferguson, my cousins over there that really facilitated everything for us, served us in immense capacities of hospitality. I want to say thank you for allowing us to come and have that time of fellowship to celebrate the life and the legacy of my beloved father, our beloved father, Charles Edward Lilly. I'm eternally grateful. Listen, I'm going to be back later on and y'all be able to share some more with you, but I just wanted to come on to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. If I didn't call your name, it doesn't mean that you weren't there. It didn't mean that I didn't love you. It was just a time for me to say what I needed to say, and to acknowledge my love and gratitude and fortitude for you being there for me. I want you to have a super amazing day. It is well. It is well. Let me say that again. It is well. Thank you so much for your continued prayers. Thank you for your continued support. I'm telling you, day by day, moment by moment, minute by minute, second by second, I am going to get through this. I have shared with my husband some instructions that I have from the Lord, and I'm going to comply with those. So understand where I am and what I'm doing. And it's okay if you don't, because my will is to do the will of the Father and to please Him in every area of my life. Have a super amazing day. Love on your loved ones. Love people. In spite of, love people. Because I'm telling you, when you stand firm in your faith, God will always honor what you're doing, because only what you do for Christ will last. Only what you do. And I ask God through this entire process to just give me the grace to always exemplify that I love the Lord, and that's one thing my dad would tell everybody. That's my daughter and she's a preacher. Well, I am. I'm the preacher, but a responsibility and an accountability comes with being a servant in the kingdom of God, and people are watching your life, whether you're laughing, crying, they are watching everything that you do. And I just asked God, as I was going through this process, let me exemplify Christ. Sometimes tears running down my face. Sometimes I didn't know if I was going or coming. Sometimes my children would say, Mom, sit down because you're just going in circles. But I have to go through my process, and I know that there's still more that I have to go through. But I'm learning more and more and more to lean and to depend on Jesus. And that's what you need to do in the darkest hours, in the brightest hours. Learn to trust in Jesus. I've learned to put my trust. The psalmist said, in thee, O Lord, do I put my trust, and don't let my enemies triumph over me. And so I thank God that my trust, my hope, my confidence, my everything is in the Lord. Have a super amazing day. I'm Esther. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. But the greatest way that you can follow me is to follow me as I follow Christ.